Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Love doesn't always arrive quietly. Sometimes it crashes into the room when you least expect it, changing everything in a single moment. For JoJo, this journey was never supposed to be easy. From the very first night, she carried hope in one hand and caution in the other. Every smile she gave came with a silent question: is this real or just another moment that fades when the cameras stop rolling? And then there was Jordan. From the beginning, there was something different about the way he looked at her, not rushed, not calculated, just steady, as if he already knew what his heart was doing long before his mind caught up. The house buzzed with competition, nerves, and whispered doubts. Every man believed his connection was special. Every rose ceremony felt heavier than the last. But while others were trying to stand out, Jordan was simply trying to stay honest with himself and with JoJo. Their conversations never felt forced. Even in silence, there was comfort. The kind that doesn't need grand gestures or dramatic speeches. The kind that sneaks up on you and makes you realize you're already in too deep. JoJo felt it too, even if she didn't say it out loud. She laughed more easily around him, her guard lowered without her noticing, and when doubts crept in late at night, his presence felt like reassurance without promises. Still, Jordan struggled. Falling in love in this environment isn't simple. Every feeling is magnified, every doubt feels louder, and the biggest risk of all, saying something you can't take back. He wrestled with the question again and again. Is it too soon? Is it real? Or am I just caught in the moment? But love has a way of answering for you. One quiet moment turned into something unforgettable. No dramatic music needed, no audience required, just two people standing face to face, hearts beating a little faster than usual. Jordan looked at JoJo and realized something that scared him and thrilled him at the same time. This wasn't just attraction. This wasn't just chemistry. This was love. His voice didn't shake, but his eyes said everything. When he finally spoke, it wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't perfect, it was real. He told her he was falling in love. Not halfway, not maybe, not someday. He was already there. For a split second, the world seemed to pause. JoJo's smile faded, not from fear, but from the weight of the moment. Hearing those words changes things. Once spoken, there's no going back to just dating. She didn't pull away, she didn't panic. Instead, she took it in, every word, every emotion behind it. And then she smiled, a soft smile, the kind that says more than any confession ever could. Because deep down, JoJo knew. She had felt it growing too. There was laughter after that, light, nervous, almost playful. Jordan joked, trying to ease the tension, reminding her he was still the same guy who teased her, made her laugh, and listened when she needed space. That's what made the moment special. It wasn't just romantic, it was human, it was imperfect, it was honest, and that honesty changed everything. From that point on, their connection felt deeper. Conversations lingered longer. Eye contact meant more. Even small moments carried weight. But love doesn't erase fear. JoJo still had other relationships to explore, other hearts depending on her choices, and Jordan knew that loving her also meant risking heartbreak. Yet he didn't regret it, not for a second. Because loving someone doesn't always mean winning. Sometimes it means being brave enough to show your heart, even when the ending isn't guaranteed. As days passed, their bond only grew stronger. They shared laughter over silly moments, comfort during uncertainty, and quiet support when emotions ran high. Jordan wasn't trying to be perfect, he was trying to be present. And JoJo noticed. She saw the way he listened instead of interrupting, the way he supported her without trying to control the outcome, the way he believed in them without demanding reassurance every step of the way. That kind of love is rare, the kind that doesn't shout, the kind that doesn't rush, the kind that feels like home.
By the time JoJo reflected on her journey, Jordan's confession stood out, not because it was dramatic, but because it was sincere. It wasn't about winning a competition, it was about choosing vulnerability. And that's what made viewers fall in love with their story. Not the roses, not the dates, not the glamorous settings, but two people daring to feel deeply in a world that often encourages playing it safe. As the journey continued, one thing became clear. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet moment where someone looks you in the eyes and tells you the truth, even when it scares them. And Jordan did exactly that. Whether this story ends in forever or simply becomes a beautiful chapter, one thing can never be taken away. That moment was real. If you believe in love that's honest, imperfect, and brave, then this story probably stayed with you too. And if you enjoyed reliving this unforgettable confession, don't forget to support more stories like this by showing your love, sharing your thoughts, and staying connected for what comes next. Because sometimes the most powerful words are the ones spoken straight from the heart. As the days moved forward, something subtle but powerful began to happen between Jordan and JoJo. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was the kind of connection that sneaks into everyday moments and suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. They laughed over things that weren't even funny. Inside jokes formed faster than either of them expected. A simple look across the room could spark a smile that lasted long after the moment passed. JoJo noticed how safe she felt around him, not just
She didn't feel
emotionally,
like she had
but
to
mentally.
impress him. She didn't need to be on all the time. Around Jordan, she could breathe. And for someone carrying the weight of so many expectations, that feeling was priceless. Jordan, on the other hand, struggled to hide how deeply he cared. He tried to keep things light, throwing in jokes at the worst possible moments, teasing JoJo just enough to make her laugh when tension built up. Sometimes he'd say something silly and immediately regret it, then laugh at himself before JoJo could even respond. Those moments didn't make him look nervous, they made him look real. And JoJo loved that. But love in this environment is never simple. Late at night, when the house grew quiet, doubts crept in. Jordan wondered if he had revealed his heart too early. He questioned whether opening up had made him vulnerable in a way that couldn't be undone. Yet, every time JoJo walked into the room and smiled at him, those doubts faded. Because her smile wasn't polite, it wasn't forced. It was warm and familiar. They talked about life beyond this journey, about family, about what scared them, about the kind of future they dreamed of, without making promises they weren't ready to give. Jordan shared stories that made JoJo laugh until she couldn't breathe. JoJo shared fears she hadn't voiced to anyone else. The walls between them slowly came down, brick by brick. And still, they kept things playful. Jordan teased her for being too perfect, joking that it made him suspicious. JoJo rolled her eyes, laughing, reminding him that he definitely hadn't seen her before coffee. Those small moments mattered, because love isn't built only in grand gestures. It's built in comfort, in humor, in choosing someone even when nothing exciting is happening. As the journey narrowed, emotions intensified. Every goodbye felt heavier. Every decision carried consequences. Jordan stayed steady. He didn't pressure JoJo. He didn't demand reassurance. He trusted that what they were building didn't need constant validation, and that confidence quietly set him apart. JoJo noticed the difference immediately. While others focused on where they stood, Jordan focused on how she felt. He supported her without trying to control the outcome, reminding her, sometimes with a joke, sometimes with a look, that she wasn't alone in this. One evening, after a long conversation, JoJo found herself laughing at something Jordan said and suddenly stopping mid-laugh. She looked at him differently, not just with excitement, but with recognition. The realization hit her quietly but firmly. This wasn't just chemistry. This wasn't just romance. This was partnership. Jordan saw the change in her eyes before she said anything. He didn't rush the moment. He simply smiled, letting the silence speak. That silence said everything. From that point on, their connection felt inevitable. Even when uncertainty surrounded them, there was a calm between them that refused to disappear. They challenged each other. They supported each other. They brought out the best and the funniest in one another. Jordan continued to make JoJo laugh when emotions ran high. JoJo continued to ground Jordan when doubts crept in. Together, they found balance. And while the journey still held unknowns, one truth stood firm. Love doesn't always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives through honesty, through laughter, through the courage to say, "This is how I feel," without knowing what comes next. Jordan took that risk. JoJo felt it. And no matter how the story unfolds, that moment, the confession, the connection, the quiet understanding, became unforgettable. Because when love is real, it doesn't fade when the moment passes. It stays. If this story made you smile, laugh, or remember why love stories matter, stay connected for more unforgettable moments just like this, because the best romances are the ones that feel real, imperfect, and full of heart. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.